Woman told to stop using a vibrator after it gave her severe pelvic pain. I swear I'm not putting this up because it's clickbait, okay? Really, honestly.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, totally. But anyway, let's jump into it. So, sex expert Navidia Brock has revealed that her doctor banned her from using her vibrator after it gave her pelvic pain so bad that it left her hobbling around the office. Are you sure it was the vibrator that did it? Just saying. You know? Okay, so first thing I really want to ask, right, is this girl's a sex expert, but apparently she's a little bit uninformed on how to use a vibrator? Or...
Hang on. She was putting it in the right hole, wasn't she?
Well, you'll get to that in a sec. I don't want to ruin the surprise. But anyway, let's keep going. 34-year-old Nadia, might be mispronouncing, who's based in Sydney, was left feeling pretty stumped by the strange pain. Confused as it was to where it was coming from, she went to the doctors for an STI test. Really? Yeah. I'm not even going to touch that one. But anyway. But when the test came back, Nadia found out she was all clear of sexually transmitted infections, which was when she urged to take a break from her sex toy. The Mirror reports that Nadia had been... Holy shit. The Mirror reports that Nadia had been hoping to spice things up after she had gone through her divorce. Eventually, she decided to treat herself to a vibrator, which she soon became obsessed with, using up to 6 times a day on its turbo setting. Damn.
Okay.
Damn, girl, you're really...
At that point, wouldn't you just invest in a Sibian?
I was going to say, at that point, wouldn't you just rather leave the friggin' thing in and just go about your daily job? But anyway, 6 times a day. Like, say that's like 10 minutes. That's like an hour a day that she's... Holy shit. Well, I suppose, yeah. It's not long at all, really, anyway. But anyway, moving along. It had been a long time since I'd had sex, she told the paper. You're supposed to be a sex expert. What kind of sex expert are you? Besides, obviously, one that doesn't get laid very often. But I wasn't entirely ready to be intimate with someone new. I'm pretty sure you got intimate with your vibrator. But anyway. So, after some research online, I decided to purchase a vibrator. Okay. I'm surprised you didn't have one beforehand, but anyway. It was quite odd looking back. Okay. I don't get that, but anyway. That was running a woman's website providing women with sex-positive advice and information on using vibrators when I'd yet to try one myself. Wow, you just literally admitted to being a fraud. You do realise that, right?
Yeah, and most of these YouTubers that do these toys and talk about it, they get like samples and then they sort of shill the people that gave them samples.
Yeah, well, she's literally admitted that she'd never used a vibrator in her life, or yet to try one myself, but she's running a website providing women with sex-positive advice and information on how to use said vibrators. Wouldn't you think you'd find out how to use it yourself first? But anyway. She continued, I became obsessed with using it and the ease and speed at which it allowed me to feel pleasure again after months in a sexless marriage. It was incredible, liberating and empowering to really take control of my sexuality in a way that for my first time in my adult life. So, however, Nadia became concerned after a couple of weeks of using her new adult toy. I started experiencing some pelvic pain and was hobbling around the office, she explained. Not making the connection, I went to the doctor to find out what was wrong. Nadia added the doctor started asking some questions, and that's when I realised the pain that had been the result of me overusing my vibrator. It was It was equal parts embarrassing and hilarious. Look, she looks alright, but yeah, anyway. I got some comments to write on this, and my view on this story has changed since I started reading it, but let's keep going. Advising others, Nadia reckons the main thing to keep in mind when trying something new is to start out slow, admitting she had learnt the hard way. Oh, apparently it was the only thing hard in you for a while. Nadia had also spoken out about how being allowed to own your sexuality as a woman is important. Trust me, women do own their own sexuality. They use it every chance they get. Speaking to the Daily Mail's Female and the online abuse that she often faces from trolls, she said it merely reinforces what she is doing and that it spurs on her it spurred on her. Okay, this article does not make sense. Start again. Speaking to the Daily Mail's Female about the online abuse she often faces from trolls. For a start, okay, guys actually receive more online abuse in categories than women do, but regardless, she is said it merely reinforces what she is doing and that it spurs on her on all the more. Okay.
It spurs her on all on. Yeah, that's not very well written.
No, it's kind of a crappy written article, but anyway. She said, I don't think any woman should let another woman... She said, I don't think any woman should let another person determine her worth. I want to challenge people's thinking and move towards living in a society where you can be allowed to own your sexuality as a woman without having to deal with constant abuse for it. At the end of the day, a woman like myself who is comfortable presenting herself in a sexy way makes people uncomfortable because it forces them to think about their own sexuality. Yeah, do you think that mostly women are the ones that get uncomfortable with you being comfortable with your sexuality? Because I'd imagine it would be. Alright, this to me, obviously guys, I don't read these articles before I start, because that way I can be authentic. But yeah, I think this is sort of a bit of a bullshit article. I think this is a bit of a lie, to be honest.
There is a thing that can occur if she was using the vibrator too much and too full on, that you can give yourself such massive, strong, as a female, you can give yourself such big, awesome orgasms that it can actually cause pain to the cervix.
Okay, so yeah, just to confirm, I'm not talking about her going herself hammer and tongs and then having to have a break. I'm not talking about that. I think this article was written because it's part of the feminist movement. And
you reckon that it's never happened? You think the whole thing is made up?
Possibly, yeah. I would lean towards that, to be honest. So
yeah, okay. The only thing I would say is that there is some validity to having too much orgasms in a short time, as it can cause some inflammation of the cervix because of the cramping.
But she's a sex expert. She's a sex expert.
She should know this.
She would know that. And okay, how many women by the age of 34 have not honestly played with a vibrator?
In this day and age, probably not many, and especially not a sexpert.
Yeah, she's literally running a website with sex toys, advising women on how to use said sex toys, and she's never thought of breaking one out of the box and...
Yeah, that sounds pretty ridiculous to me.
Not only is it pretty ridiculous, if it is true, extremely reckless. Because you're advising women on how to use these toys when you do not have that knowledge yourself. That is extremely ridiculous to do.
Well, yeah. If you don't, because especially for women using sex toys, if you do certain things in the wrong way, you can give yourself a UTI, urinary tract infection. You can get toxic shock syndrome if you do things really badly. That's when you get an infection at the cervix itself, which goes inside.
Or even just simple as, for example, mixing condoms up with different types of lubes can cause condoms to break. You know, at the end of the day, if you haven't experimented with sex or at the very least it had some sort of basic understanding of sex, like, dude, like a vibrator, like, no offense, but a vibrator is pretty freaking tame to things to do. Like, it's not like this girl was literally running around being in 50 Shades of Grey. By the way, if Jess, you want to be in 50 Shades of Grey, or Nadia, I think her name is, feel free to call me. But yeah, I was going to say, look, at the end of the day, that this is pretty tame stuff. And she apparently hasn't even done that. And she's running a website. And I'm going to say this is the way the story took or went at the end. I think this is more about making up a story or...
propaganda.
Yeah, it's more about feminists owning their sexuality, which seems to be the biggest emphasis out of the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a little weird that Lad Bible has jumped on this. Maybe they thought the story was funny.
But this is a Lad Bible story you just read?
Yeah.
And there's feminism on Lad Bible. Okay.
Yeah, it's terrific, isn't it? Yeah, we can't even have a guy's
I thought it was supposed to be lad culture.
Yeah. But I was going to say, yeah, the last two were actually, so the train thing and this one. But, you know, like I say, look, at the end of the day, I think this is more about her advertising herself, her going through, and I think the story is a load of crap. I really do. And, yeah, plus, you know...
I mean, I did notice it. But, yeah, I mean, sometimes it can be a bit naive.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed it. What did you say, sorry?
Oh, yeah, it can be a little naive sometimes, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really notice it until I started getting towards the end myself. But I don't know, it just doesn't seem to... I don't know, it just doesn't seem to fit right. I think it's fake. But, I don't know, guys, let me know what your thoughts are.
Fake news.
Yeah. Guys, I don't know, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Do you think this is a legit story? Do you think she's faking this? Do you think she's lying about it because she's trying to push the feminist agenda? Or do you think she actually based this on reality and based it on previous events? I don't know. I'm open. Let's have a discussion in the comments section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack a like. If you're new, channel welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great night and enjoy.